Good morning on the 14th of September. Hello for everybody that's going to be joining us in. I tried to go live actually a few minutes ago, and I wasn't able to go live. I think I just went live actually right now. So I wanted to welcome you, and I wanted to share with you some powerful lessons that I've learned today. I have no idea how many people are going to pop on this morning, probably a few. But it's the content of this message that matters the most. And in case you're wondering, what's the subject matter all about? Well, I actually haven't eaten anything in 21 days, nothing at all. Now, I want to be fair. I've been drinking water, and around day 8, I started taking some electrolytes every day. So I was putting a little tablet in my water once a day, twice a day sometimes, because I was walking about 5 kilometers a day, doing a bunch of errands and going around town and things like this, and doing a bunch of work as well. I got some shirts made and things like this. So I was taking something with a very tiny minute amount of minerals, which without that I probably wouldn't be able to focus or talk at all right now. But I've had no food. I've had no calories whatsoever really. Nothing to eat. No fruit. No vegetables. No meat. Well, I don't eat meat anyways. No eggs. No protein shakes. Nothing. And you say, well, why were you doing that? Well, I did this earlier in the year. I had a water fast I did for 14 days, or no, excuse me, 11 days earlier in the year. So this is about double the time of that. I'm actually going to eat for the first time in 21 days here live. But I did that earlier in the year, and there was a reason I did it earlier in the year. I did it for, I felt like my body needed a detox. There's a huge amount of benefits to water only fasting on a physical level. But there was something spiritual that I was dealing with that when I did the water fast, it totally cleared out. And so it had a really powerful effect on me. And this fast I was actually doing for a different reason. I was doing it because I have a friend who is going through some extreme, uh, I would say like a war, like a spiritual war. And so a lot of times when we can't do anything and nobody else can do anything. Sometimes God can do something. And so I spent a lot of time praying for this person. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to talk about their issues because that's actually not what this is all about. Because I wanted to share with you some breakthroughs that I had personally. And so, I mean, first of all, I got a lot out of this because this is a long time. I mean, I have not eaten anything in 3 weeks. Like if you think about it from a perspective of some of the characters that have done things for longer periods of time like that, like Moses, Jesus, for example. I mean, they went for 40 days. Moses went for 40 days without any food or water, it says. Jesus went, it just says, without any food. But if you look at that, I've only gone like half that amount of time. That's a long time to go without any eating, right? And so, what's it like, not eating for 3 weeks? And why would I do something like that? Well, what it's like is actually it's very transformational in a lot of ways. In case you've never done fasting before, you've never done any sort of intermittent fasting, maybe you're not familiar with it. Your body goes through a whole bunch of biochemical changes along the route when you're going through a period of controlled starvation is essentially what it is. I mean, my arms, I mean, they're like you probably can't tell in the video. They were like probably like this, like twice that size when I started the fast, and so I've lost I don't know um, I probably lost like 20 pounds. Now I wasn't actually trying to lose weight. I was doing anaerobic exercise and had very low body fat percentage anyways. I was doing it for other reasons. But your body essentially goes into a state when you go through even minor levels of starvation where you switch your metabolism up and you become a lot more efficient at utilizing minerals, fats, proteins, and things like this. And then what happens is your body essentially will start eating itself, right? Because it needs food from somewhere. And so, what does it eat first? Well, what it'll eat is it'll eat the weak parts of your biology that aren't necessary to sustain the physical organism. You could look this up on YouTube if you just look up autophagy or benefits to fasting. You'll find the science on it. And essentially, the first things to go are like, for example, old age, dead parts of your body, uh, cancer cells, things like this. Now, of course, I don't struggle with any of these issues, but um, thank God, right? uh, you know, the thing is though is your body will essentially consume old, dead, weak parts of your biology. It's proven scientifically, for example, that things will happen like your arteries will clean themselves out, your blood pressure will lower. They actually did a study with 174 people in one of the well-known fasting clinics that's had, over 10,000 people that have come through. And these people all had extreme high blood pressure, right? Like their blood pressure was just extremely high. And they put them through a fasting regimen, and 100% of the 174 people were able to get off of high blood pressure medication and just maintain themselves with a healthy diet after that. And they, literally 100% of 174 people got off the high blood pressure medication. So fasting physically on a physical level is powerful. But what I'm interested in talking to you about, and I'm not going to talk a lot of time because I'm actually like going to eat for the first time in 3 weeks. I've got some soup. It's really broth over there. I've got to be really careful for the next few days what I've eaten because I've not had anything in my stomach at all for 21 days. You say 21 days, Dave? You've really done that? Yeah, I've done that. I just don't talk about it because I don't like to go and say like, look what I'm doing. I'm fasting for. There's no reason behind it. You know what I mean? It's just something that I was doing privately. And so I wanted to tell you about it though because I want to make an invitation to you, but also I want to share with you some of these powerful breakthroughs. I actually think this is going to be a relatively important video of mine just because I'm in a state right now where I can talk about, on a very clear level what happened in the last few weeks. The first thing that I noticed from doing this is that just all negativity, and I'm a pretty positive person anyways, but there's been times in the last few years that I've struggled with negativity, pretty bad actually. It's been lessening and lessening and lessening, and I've been switching that around, but I'm generally a pretty positive person. Uh, all the negativity that was at all in my head is just gone. Like it's just gone, right? You say, where did it go? Like, what did you do? Did you do emotional release? Did you do forgiveness? Yeah, I did a lot of that. I did a lot of meditation and things like this, obviously, because I was taking a time of going through some, maybe a little bit of a spiritual catharsis. But for something about it, it's just like something like you don't have enough calories, or maybe it's because your brain switches into a new gear, or because of the metabolism switches that happen because you're eating, but just like literally all negativity is like gone from my brain, like it doesn't like it never even existed. Like I don't even know. Like I remember some sort of like segment where there was some negativity in my mind at one point or another, and it just is like pretty much all gone. You say, well, how did that happen? I actually don't know. The fasting did it. I actually noticed that probably around day 7 or something like this. When I'm sitting there and I'm fasting and I'm just like, I wake up and I was like, it's just so good to be alive. Now, that seems like it's a weird thing to say when you're not eating, right? It seems like if you're not eating, you'd wake up and you'd be like, I'm starving, life sucks so bad or whatever. But I actually did quite the opposite to that. Like, I just like woke up, and it took me a while to get out of bed after about day 7 or 8. Like, I would just lay there for like 30 minutes and just kind of like stare at the wall. And then I'd have to sit up, and then you kind of got to like stand up slow, because if you stand up too quick, you can faint, right? It's just something that happens after a while of fasting. I mean, I haven't eaten in a long time, right? There's no blood sugar, right? So all the blood sugar you have are coming from ketones, right? But just like literally all the negativity, just like all of it just gone, like just zeroed out. Like it's like that you were starving your body, and your body's eating the stuff in there that's just a toxic buildup from accumulation of waste over the entire life you've had. And then at the same time, it's like spiritually, it's like mentally, it's like your brain's like, well, we don't really have energy to keep producing all of these toxic thoughts. So all of this toxic energy inside your brain, we're shutting that down, right? Because we've only got enough energy for the happy thoughts. I don't know if that's actually how that works or that's why that happened, but that's actually like kind of an experience that I had where all negativity disappeared. I also made some just decisions about myself and decisions about kind of what I want to do, and got re-clarified and refocused in my life from it. Just as a side effect, I mean, like I said, I was doing it predominantly to be taking some prayer time for a friend, but I just made some decisions about myself. I wrote a bunch of them down, but I can't really write all of them down. And I learned a bunch. So I want to talk about some of the things that I learned, because I was doing a lot of study when I was on this, because I had a lot of brain energy. People are like, "You're not eating." My neighbor was like, I told him about it. I told one of the neighbors and not the other, and he was like, "You haven't eaten for 3 weeks?" And he was like, "Whoa, dude!" He's like, "My respect just like went up to here." He's like, "How'd you even survive?" You know what I mean? So I was talking to him about it, and anyways, there's some things I learned, and some of this is from study, and some of it is it from some of it's from meditation, some of it's stuff that I already knew, but I wanted to share it with you because I think that this is valuable and they're very important shifts I'm going to be making about everything that I'm doing. Okay, the first one is I am just going to be a lot more detached about everything. That's just a decision I made, and it's a decision I made. It's kind of a threshold I crossed where, I have there's certain things in my life where I attach too much to the outcome. Yeah, I attach too much to an ideal. I attach too much to an idea. Where there's a natural tendency that, biologically you could say, or from my upbringing I've done, where just, detachment for me has taken a lot of work. Just something happened to me where I just feel more detached from everything. Like nothing really matters. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, no matter what struggles people are going through and no matter what pain they have in their life, like, I just went for 3 weeks without eating. You know what I mean? Like that just, it does something to you where it's like you can do something where, people are complaining about nothing. You realize that you've been complaining about nothing. You've realized that there's people in the world that have been starving. They haven't eaten for 30 or 40 days, and all of a sudden, you haven't eaten for 3 weeks, and then you realize like you still have energy to like get up and read. I've been reading like maybe 6 hours a day or something like this, and doing some work. I've been working on this book. Let me actually show it to you. This is not for sale, by the way. It's just I'm working on it, but this is actually this book that I've been working on. This will be, yeah, I'm telling you, this will be a very important book, but it might take a while to get off the ground. So this is the same subject as my shirt, and then Canaan Elohim World Peace is what it's called, and then on the back I've got images of the 7 major religions. Center is a menorah, symbolizing that Torah is what connects us all together, and that there's maybe many sources of knowledge, but that there's one God, right? That's the Elohim Tetragrammaton is what that means. Some of you will know what that means. I'd read you something from it, but just it's not the purpose of this video. And I'm probably going to put a waiting list out for that book or something like that. I'm not going to be selling it right away, and because it's not there's some things that aren't ready. But in any case, so but essentially it's finished. So I finished that. I was doing tons of work. I was reading 6 hours a day, doing tons of study. I was doing studies into various religions, marketing, all sorts of things like this. And there's so much things that I learned from having that study time. But it's like your brain has all this energy, and like you're not eating anything. You know what I mean? You don't need food. You don't need to like do all this stuff that people are doing. And so just this attitude of detachment where you just can let go of everything in your life, where literally it's like all this stuff that we think is so important is going to make or break us, and is going to has the capacity to ruin us, and we're so worried about the pandemic and the corona and the vaccine, and there's all this drama going on in social media, and I'm just telling you, none of it matters, right? It just, this stuff can matter at certain times, and it's going to have some sort of significance, but at the end of the day, it's like, let's just let go. All the stuff and all the stuff people said and all the stuff that people, they hurt you, or they hurt me, or they hurt this other person, or they did all this stuff. Let's just put 100% of it in the past, all of it, right? And like literally just forget about it like it doesn't even exist. It never even happened in current reality. The past isn't right now. The past actually doesn't even exist anymore. The past is just in our minds. We have memories that we hold on to these ideas of things that happened, but the fact is that those things never happened in that exact way anyway. They're just our perceptions. We are literally just living in one moment, and that moment that we're living in is right now. So this is a big one, detachment, right? The next one is the power of just stillness. There's something mesmerizing about just sitting there and having nothing essentially but your thoughts for 3 weeks, where you don't have very fast. Well, I'm going to do a water fast. Actually, I'm going to invite everybody to do that with me tomorrow night through the next night. So I'm going to do one more day, but I'm taking a day and a half break from now. Essentially, I'm going to eat in a minute, and then I'm going to go, and then tomorrow night on the 15th, which is September 15th, is a very significant day for me. I talked about this in a previous video. We're going to do a dry fast, so it's no food, no water for 24 hours. So from sundown on the 15th to sundown on the 16th, you say, why that day? Well, that day is Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the day called the Day of Atonement. It's the most holy day of the year in the Bible. And it has incredible spiritual significance in several regards, regardless of your faith, regardless of your background. And so no matter who you are, you'll want to participate in that and just take the day off of work if you can, and just kind of chillax. And I'll talk about that a little bit in this video, but I'm talking about my breakthroughs right now. So I want to invite you to do that with me and let me know if you're going to do that in the comments. Also, so maybe send me a personal message and we could get together. We could do a Zoom hangout. We can all pray together. You know what I mean? Non-denominational, religious type thing, just no matter what your background is. And we can all participate in that. We could do that tomorrow. I'm going to be starting a non-religious, non-denominational spiritual fellowship anyways, coming up, called the Kingdom of Elohim. So I'll talk about that later, but not right now. So that won't be and nobody will be teaching each other. We'll all be teaching each other. I mean, it's like a decentralized thing, right? So so the next thing is that it's time to build a new life, right? Like, it's time to build a new life. Like, we've all done things in the past that are positive and negative, right? Like, what have you done in your life that's positive? Well, okay, you've done some negative things too. Okay, fantastic. It doesn't exist right now. Or maybe some element of it does still exist because you built it and it's still here. For some of us, we built things and those things don't exist anymore. Those relationships don't exist anymore. The ideas you had were things that came and they went. They were like the passing of the wind. It's time to build something new. Okay, it's time to do something new. It's time to be something new. It's time to create a new day in our lives, and time to create new healing in our lives, and time to create new wins in our lives. And it's time to create something that is in alignment with who we really are, right? That's disconnected from this endless pursuit of pleasure, right? And I mean that. Like, I've been watching these videos, on Buddha, and I've been reading a lot from Scripture, and I've been reading a lot from scriptures of various religions and things like this, and also just great spiritual, philosophical teachers and things like this. And the pleasures of life, they just ensnare us ultimately. It's fun to eat. It's fun to have sex and to have things in life that we really enjoy. But at the end of the day, all of the pleasures, they come for a while, they go, and they leave us many times with a sense of meaningless. We need to do something that's actually meaningful, that's actually impactful, right? And pleasures will come along the way, and happiness will come along the way, and obstacles will come along the way, and we just stay detached and we build something that's awesome, right? I don't know if that makes sense. The next thing is this is just a personal thing for me, is I don't really want to spend a lot of time with people that aren't willing to change, right? And what I mean by that is not change in the way that I want them to change. These are just breakthroughs I've had, right? What I mean by that is that we're all doing things that are in alignment with universal law. And we're all doing things that are out of alignment with universal law. By universal law, what do I mean? I mean, you could define this in a religious context, or you could just define it in personal context. Like a universal law that's just no matter what your background is would be the law of action and reaction, law of karma. You put positive out, positive comes back. You put negative out, negative comes back. You put out good seeds and good crops come back. You know what I mean? I don't really want to work with people. This is a decision I made, that I don't really want to work with people that don't want to be in harmony with universal law. It's not like I can't be friends with them. It's that if they're not in harmony with universal law, we're going in different directions, right? If they're not willing to change from the things they're doing that are really bad and sometimes awful, right? I don't really want those people around me, and I don't really want to spend a lot of time helping those people, because it's like I'm sowing my seeds on corrupt soil, right? I want to work with people that want to change. This is the thing, right? And so, there's a bunch of other things that I'm going to do that are far as, breakthroughs that I had, devoting myself to personal mastery and things like this, like giving literally everything to my higher power, like giving everything, right? Like everything I've got, like all of my life, every part of my being, every part of my mind, every part of my soul, every strand of my hair, right? Every bit of my money, every single thread of my clothing, right? It just all belongs to the great one, right? So these are some, some ideas, some breakthroughs that I've had and some things. So I'm going to be starting, nonprofit fellowship here soon. And I don't know that I'm really going to be talking about that so much on Facebook because I'm going to go build that with normal people. But the reality is that I've been talking about this project that I want to build for a very long time. I wrote a book about it. The book is very good, and I'm going to start building that because it's going to need to go through about 5 or 6 phases to get it to where I want to be, right? But this is all starting somewhere, and where's it starting? We need to be meeting up, you and me. If you're on my Facebook and you watch my videos, we need to be meeting up regularly, right? Because there's so many ways in which I can help you. And if you're not meeting up with me right now, I'm telling you that it's you that's losing out. It's not me that's losing out. Yeah, I love you, and I miss your company too. But it's a critical time right now in my life where I have the ability to really help some people, and I help people have like massive breakthroughs that they can't have in any other way that they've never had with working with anybody. But more than that, I'm going to be building groups of people, and the people that work with me very early in what it is that I'm doing and walk through the change process that we outline very early are really going to be, I'm telling you, they're going to be future leaders, not just in something that doesn't matter, but in something that will actually end up impacting the whole world. And so I'm going to start working with people again and start building teams again and things like this. But I'm going to do it in the way that I want with the people that I want. And so we need to be meeting up, though. I think just the whole general Facebook community needs to be meeting up. Like, we need to be doing things like praying together, like studying together, right? Like planning together, like finding out a way to build an actual future together. Because what we're doing right now, I'm telling you, it matters. It's a special time right now, and it's a special place that you're in watching this. And I'm a special person. I am, right? And you're special. We need to acknowledge that, and we need to realize what we've actually got our hands on, and the way that we can work together, the way that we can create things together, is totally unique in the world. And I don't know really that I'm going to be spending a lot of time on Facebook for very long, because I might just go find that there's just better outlets for what I'm doing. And so there's a real rare opportunity right now to be working along by my side and to be working in a way that we're creating something that is way beyond time, that's way beyond anything that we've ever done in our life. So it's way beyond the mindless pursuit of nonsense that we see on Facebook so much, because I'm just not interested in it anymore. I don't know about you. I'm just like not interested in this drama anymore. Like, I don't care what this political leader and that political leader says about COVID. I'm sorry. Like, I'm so interested in something else. You know what I mean? Like something that's actually going to impact and change people. We got a pandemic here. Let's deal with it and detach from it and live as healthy lives as we possibly can. So a couple of invitations I've got for you. Invitation number one is invitation to connect with me on a regular basis. I don't know how I'm going to be doing that. Reach out to me on Facebook. Let's pop on a call. No obligation to do anything, right? But let's pop on a call so we can find out what each other is really doing. Like, I find out what you want. You can find out what I want. What we're really looking to create, right? So this is an invitation to connect with me personally. There will be invitations to work with me here in a very short time in the future. That's number one. Number two, okay, is an invitation to fast with me on Yom Kippur. I'm going to talk about the spiritual significance. And you know what? I just decided, like, I'm just so liberated. Like, I just don't care what people think about what I'm doing. I'm going to go build the biggest movement that anybody's ever built, period. Right? It doesn't matter what you think about it. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about it. It doesn't matter what they think, because I know what I'm going to do. Right? But Yom Kippur is, it's a Jewish holiday, but it's actually biblical. And it symbolizes the Day of Atonement. And it's the holiest day of the year. And it's a day when it just happens to fall on this year on September 15th. Which is the Independence Day in Costa Rica, where my son lives. September 15th is also when I was born again in the year 2000. And so Yom Kippur cross-sections over on that day starting in the night this year. And what you do on Yom Kippur is you don't eat any food and you don't drink any water. So from sundown tomorrow to sundown the next day, don't eat any food, don't drink any water. That's number one. So what do? Well, you pray, and it's a time of doing self-reflection, number one, where you list out, like, what are the things that you're doing that are against your higher power, that are against God, that are against universal law. And You just let go of them and submit them to your higher power and allow God to change them. And it says that God forgives you totally on that day, right? It's like a magic day. I'm telling you, it's a magical day, right? And so I invite you to do with me a 1 day fast on Yom Kippur. So yeah, I'm going to do 1 day fast starting tomorrow night to the next night, and then I'm going to be back to normal. Yeah, I probably won't do another fast at all for at least 6 months, and then maybe 1 day or so, or 2 days or something like that. And then sometime in the future, I am going to do a 40-day one, but not until I rest from fasting for a long time, because now I'm going to get in the best shape I've ever been in my life. You have no idea how good a shape I'm going to get in. I'll be like Hercules, right? Give me 6 months though, because it's going to take me a little bit of time, and it'll take me probably 3 months just to get my muscle back that I lost, because I could do 10 pull-ups or 11 when I went on this fast. I could probably do 2 now because I haven't done pull-ups in 3 weeks, right? So to fast with me on Yom Kippur. So again, no food, no water. And if you want to get together, just hit me up in a message, and we'll get a little group together. It could be 4 or 5 people, 10 people, something like that. We could do we do prayers. We could do some studies, but we can do. Most importantly, let's just like take the day off, right, and give it as a day of like remembrance. Doesn't matter whether you're Jewish, Christian, Buddhist, right? Who you are, you can participate in a day long fast. And you say, a day long? That's a lot. I just fasted for 21 days. So are you going to be fine if you don't eat any food and don't drink any water from sundown tomorrow until sundown the next day? Yeah, you're going to be totally fine. You'll be completely and totally fine. There will be nothing negative that happens to that from doing that for anybody whatsoever. At all, unless you've got a specific medical concern and you could talk to your doctor. But this is just like so rare. So the reality is that you're going to be fine. So that's the second invitation, is to do a fast with me on Yom Kippur, and we could pray together, pray for your issues and things like this as a group. You know what I mean? The next thing that I want you to invite you to do is I want to invite you to detach, right? Detaching from what? Detaching from all this nonsense in your life, right? Detaching from the need to be prideful, detaching from the need to eat, detaching from the need to have sex, the need to pursue pleasure, the need to chase women, the need to chase after money all the time, the dollar, the dollar, the dollar, the dollar, right? Just let it go, right? One thing I decided to do, I forgot to write this down, right? Let the universe, I'm going to write this down. Let the universe do. I'll say this. I decided that I'm just going to let the universe bring to me what the universe wants to bring to me and be okay with whatever it is, right? Like, I'm not going to fight what's going on, right? So anyway, that's enough for today. I'm going to go grab my food because I've actually got a short time here and I got some stuff to do. So I'm going to go grab, I actually have like a bowl of soup I'm going to eat, and I've got some homemade chocolate bars I made the other day, which I don't know if they're disgusting, to be honest, because I've never made chocolate bars before. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll be right back. All right. This is part number 1. Part number 2 is the chocolate bars. I'll be right back. So this is literally just soup broth. It's with oil in it. It's not anything. It's got some spices. And then I made, these are just normal chocolates. I actually wish they were magic chocolates. I probably will make those at some point. I've got 2 kinds of the chocolate bars, but I'm going to try the soup first. So I already, prayed over my food. This is like, I haven't eaten anything in like weeks. So you got to be careful. I'll explain why you got to be careful when you're breaking a fast. Oh, you have no idea how delicious that is. It's probably a little too spicy for me because I've had no food in my mouth. I like food like ultra spicy. That is like so delicious. You have no idea how good that is. Oh my God. See, this is the thing about denying yourself, is you literally like cannot even imagine how good something so simple tastes. It's awesome. Right. All right, so I've got two different kinds of the chocolate bars. I'm going to try a little bit. So this is the kind... All right, this is the second kind I made because I wanted to see what was the better form, right? I got like my own little chocolate. It's crunchy. I knew it was going to be crunchy. I'm trying to make it smooth. But okay, that is quite delicious. I didn't do too bad. All right, hold on. I'm going to try my own. It doesn't have sugar in it. It has like this ketogenic. All right, this is my other kind. Okay. Weird. This one's smooth. Why is that one smooth and the other one not smooth? I've never made chocolate. But I'm always buying chocolate, but it's got sugar in it. And it takes like 15 minutes to make it. I actually kind of like this better than the chocolate I get at the store, actually. And so you're eating chocolate after not eating for 21 years? Oh, I love chocolate. I'm never going to stop eating chocolate. I think literally, like, it's so delicious. You have no idea. I don't know if it's as enjoyable to you to watch me eat for the first time in 15 days as it is to actually eat for the first, 21, sorry. Oh my God, it's awesome. See, then you realize, right? Then you realize how good your life actually is. That's what I'm realizing right now as I'm eating this. So you gotta be careful. Let me explain why you gotta be careful, okay? So what goes in must come out, right? So the very first time I did a long fast, I was like, I'm not gonna listen to these people's advice. I'm just gonna eat whatever it is I want to eat, right? Big mistake. I ate like this giant bowl of like fruits and vegetables and salads and spices because I eat food like my food is so spicy. It's like sometimes I'm up there with the Mexicans. You know, I don't know that I put the Mexicans to shame, but I'm close. Anyways, so like it was fine when I ate it. My stomach hurt a little bit as it was digesting. But man, when that stuff came out, like, you don't defecate in weeks, right? So you got to kind of like warm yourself up a little bit. So that's why I've got chocolate, some vegetable broth with oil in it, right? Good lubricant for the intestines. And I've got chocolate because fundamentally it's like, it's not really that, well, no, I've got chocolate because I want to eat it. It has nothing to do with eating the right thing after you fast. I got chocolate because I was like, I wonder if I could make my own chocolate bars rather than buying chocolate bars because I don't want all the sugar. And so, actually that's quite delicious. I'm impressed with my chocolate because it's my first time. I need to write down the way that I'm doing these things so I repeat the good recipe because I'm trying to remember the difference between these two kinds of chocolate and I can't. I just remember I made them a little bit differently. I think one of them has a little salt. I don't know why it's smooth though. Anyways, Alex Morton, he says, you definitely don't look good, bro. You definitely shouldn't fast from water. Yeah, very bad idea. That's fine. So, you know, I don't look good, of course, because I haven't eaten in weeks, right? Weeks. And so you lose a lot of weight, but then the weight comes back and your system optimizes. And you actually get a lot healthier when you do it, right? There's a million health benefits. Now, like, I have all this like energy coming to my mind, and I'm not eating any sugar. This is still like fat metabolism, but my body's like, oh my God, are we really eating? Are we really like not gonna starve to death? So anyways, I appreciate you, and discipline is the way of life. You say, what's the purpose of doing things like this? If nothing else, I'm a lot more disciplined now than I was 3 weeks ago, right? And I feel more wise. I feel like I have a better schedule. I feel like I'm more focused. I feel like I know what I want more. And it's time for me to let go of some old relationships. I'm not going to talk about that in the video because it's not anybody's business. But for a long time, I've taken a burden on myself of people that I can't help anymore until they change, you know? And so I'm always here for everybody. I'm always here for you. I'm always here for anybody that wants to change. That's my new rule. Like, literally, I'm here for anyone that wants to change, right? No matter who they are, no matter how much work I got to do, it doesn't matter if they're a methamphetamines addict in the streets. I know some of those. It doesn't matter if they're a guru. It doesn't matter if they're making $1,000 a month or $100,000 a month. It doesn't matter whether they've got rich parents or poor parents. It doesn't matter whether they're Jewish, Christian. It doesn't matter a lot of things. What matters? What matters is they want to change. Oh, I feel so good now. You have no idea. It's like this energy is like hitting my body. Maybe I'll stay on a fat metabolism for a while. I think I might like it better. You know, if you want to get healthier, I'm here for you. If you want to make more money, I'm here for you. Will I go make a lot of money now? I totally have let go of all of this. I can make money whenever I want. So can you. I don't care about it anymore. I let go of it. Making money just keeps you trapped in... Focusing on making money just keeps you trapped in a cycle of suffering, is what it does. Unless you're just doing it because it's a part of what you're doing and it's a part of the life that you love. Living a life that you love is never a part of suffering. Doing what's right in your heart is always good, right? Hello, whoever just joined us, hello. The nonsense pursuit of, I mean, it's like we need all of this stuff. It's like, I need. And it's like, well, you know, you don't eat for 3 weeks. You realize most of it's nonsense and how amazing it is. How amazing it is just to be alive. Like, do you have any idea how amazing it is that you're alive? Right? Anybody that doesn't believe in a creator, they're fooling themselves. We're designed, mark my words on that. Do you know how amazing you are as a human being? How amazing the machinery in your body is? The machinery in your cells. I mean, if you look at your cells in a microscope, you got all these, like, there's these little machines in there carrying little things around. You know? You're amazing. And life's amazing. This soup is so good. Actually, I'm quite enjoying this. Quite a lot. You're incredible, you know? You're a creation that the world's never seen before, right? You know what the interesting thing is about my videos? Is there'll be a time in the future when if I pop on a live, there'll be 100,000 people watching minimum. And everybody will be like taking notes, like running over each other, trying to implement what I'm talking about. You know what the difference is between that and right now? The number of viewers is how seriously people take things. People. Ooh, I gotta be careful not to take too much hot in too fast. I've not had any food in my throat or my mouth, my taste buds. 3 weeks. I feel so happy right now. You have no idea. You have no idea how happy I feel right now. And I feel happy no matter what's going on. That's the thing about mastering the self. Do I believe that there's going to be great troubles in the future and all this? Yeah, but let's focus on something else. You know? Isn't it enough of the nonsense already? Jeez, I've had enough of it. I've had enough pandemic news for 6 million lifetimes. I don't even look at the stats anymore. I don't care what the government says about where you can go outside or whatever it is. You know what? I'm so over it. Like, let's talk about the next beach vacation and the next thing that we're going to do on the internet to really change people's lives. And let's talk about, like, you want to know some wisdom? Forget all this modern personal development stuff compared to this. I'll tell you where it's at. Go read the book of Proverbs. Go read the teachings of Buddha. No, man, the teachings of Buddha, I mean, the modern psychologist, they're trying to even understand what he's talking about. Like, they're like, oh, we just finally discovered this thing. And it's like, he was saying this like 2,600 years ago. Go pick up the spiritual teachers, Jesus, Moses, the Torah, right? Everything comes from the Torah. That's why we're going to fast together on Yom Kippur. So who's in? I mean, tell me if you're in. You know, if you want to do it, somebody do tomorrow night, 24-hour dry fast. And then, yeah, I tell you, I will take a break from this fasting for quite some time. I'm telling you, it's going to be quite some time before I do something like this again. This soup is good. So what I did is I took some like one of those boxes of soup, right? It's just broth. I mean, I'm warming myself up to food because I haven't eaten in a long time. And then I put some spices in it and a whole bunch of coconut oil. So I've got energy, right? And so there's lubrication in my intestines for what I mentioned before. Hold on, I'm going to take a break from the soup. I'm going to eat another piece of chocolate. Life is actually like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And that one, this is my crunchy one. It's got a little bit of a richer flavor than the other one. I made 2 things of chocolate. This literally takes 15 minutes. So how do you make it? Well, this chocolate, this is made from a few ingredients. Let me tell them how easy it is. That's delicious. This one I thought was going to be all crunchy. And this one's smooth. I can't figure that out. Anyway. No sugar in it. It has some sort of like keto-friendly sugar that's not like artificial sugar alcohols. But it's got coconut oil, equal part coconut oil. I couldn't find cacao oil. So I have coconut oil. Then I have sugar. Then I have milk powder, right? I got some milk powder. Very cheap at the store. Then cacao powder, which is easy to find at the store, right? And you just like look on YouTube, mix them up, pour them into like a little thing, and then you've got like this. You put them in the fridge because they probably melt a little bit easier because they're made from coconut oil. Coconut oil melts a little easier. You can fix that somehow, but I'm not going to get into it. So you got to refrigerate them. But actually, I kind of like this better than chocolates at the store because for a minimum, it's got no sugar in it. Which is why I made it, because I don't really want to eat sugar in anything, to be honest. I'd prefer it wasn't in the food. You don't want to show something that damages people? What damages people, you said you haven't eaten for 21 days and you're eating a chocolate bar? Of course. I love chocolate so much. I think chocolate is like the best food ever. I think it actually makes you better looking and more romantic. Anyway, now back to my soup. Weird combination. I'm almost done with this bowl of soup. I might get another one. So I hope you've been enjoying this meal with me. And, I would be careful doing something like fasting for 3 weeks. Because maybe not everybody could do that. But everybody could do something for 5 days. Everyone could do something for one. And fasting is extremely powerful for all the reasons I mentioned, right? So, obviously get started slow or whatever. I actually got to run because I've got to I got to go to a meeting here at 10. And then I've got to get on this television show that I do every week at 11. We've been broadcasting somewhere in Europe. I don't remember where. But we have about, 100,000 people a week watching. And right now I'm going over like biblical prosperity principles with my friend Youre. So I got to go because I got to get on this. I have a meeting to attend, and then after the meeting, I go to this thing, and then this afternoon, I'm going to kind of be eating all day today, but light. I'll have some banana smoothies and stuff like that a little bit later on today, and then like banana protein smoothie. Right, you got to kind of reintroduce the food gradually. Tomorrow, I'll probably have some solid food before the fast begins. Then we'll do the fast for 24 hours. Then after that fast, I'll be essentially like eat a very light meal afterwards, then I'll be back to normal. And then it's just a matter of taking the learnings, taking the transformation, taking the new peace, the new prosperity, the new awakening, and carrying it into the next thing that we do together so we can build a new and better, more awesome, more beautiful world that's free of suffering together, which we actually have the ability to do. So again, and I invite you to reach out to me. I'd like to connect with you on a one-on-one basis. Just find out what you. I really just right now I'm looking to find out what you need and want because I want to know both on you specifically, build a relationship with you. Also, I want to know on my friends list what is it that people are really struggling with. And if I don't get to know you individually, I can't know that collectively. I'm probably going to have to talk to 100 people or so to figure that out. And so the other thing is, I invite you. This is a serious thing because I'm telling you now. You need to fast on Yom Kippur. We need to be following these holidays. I've talked about this for years because, I understand some stuff that nobody understands, and then there's some stuff where I'm more retarded than everyone. I can fully acknowledge this, right? Like, I don't think. Bowl number 1, complete. I don't think that I know better than everyone. I want to be really clear about that. Like, I don't think that I know more about life than you. I think that I probably know different things than you, right? I was talking to my parents about this the other day, right? Like, I know a lot about, for example, the Bible. There's a lot of people that know more about the Bible than me. I mean, there's a lot of rabbis that have studied the Torah, for example, for 3 hours a day for 20 years. There's certain things I do know more about than a normal person, right? But there's some things that I know that are true. And one of the things that I know that are true is that these festivals that go on every year, all of us should be following. Because we're not creating the best community that could possibly be created in the history of Earth because we're avoiding stuff that creates cool communities, right? And I'm talking about Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, doing a fast together, right? Building a community around it. The Feast of Tabernacles is coming up, right? The Sabbath, the new moons. Nobody celebrates these things. We need to be doing it. Not because we have to do it. We need to be doing it because we can build a community around it that fills the world. People don't get it. They don't understand what I've been on about. I haven't been good at explaining it actually till I wrote that book. This book actually does explain it quite well. But the reason we need to be doing it is because it's all leading to something. You say, what's it leading to? it's leading to, this is what I'm going to tell you about me, okay? When people realize this, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the truth is, that what I'm going to start, and I am going to start it with the people that are going to start it with me, when they realize that it is actually the biblical prophesied kingdom that appears in Daniel and Isaiah all through the New Testament, they're going to feel, hopefully not for very long, because hopefully they'll get over it and just build with us. They're going to feel mentally inept for how they treated me sometimes. And they're going to just wish that they were a part of early conversations. But they don't get that now. But when they get that I'm actually going to bring with people the biblically prophesied actual kingdom to the physical earth, they're all going to be involved in it when they realize that. For now, I'm going to eat some more soup. And I invite you to join me fasting on Yom Kippur. Again, write in the comments, send me a message. I have very much enjoyed this first meal. Hope it won't be my last. I'm going to go grab some more soup, pop on my other meeting. I'm going to be praying for you, blessing you, and we are going to do something great together. And even if it's not that, even if you're not working with me in that capacity, it doesn't matter. I just want to know what it is, where it is that you're at, what I can help you with specifically, what you're struggling with, and I want to get to know you a little bit, because I got some people that I've got to build relationships with, and I think that you're one of them, if you'd like. And if you don't want, it's fine. I don't know that we have a very much of a purpose of being friends on Facebook if we're not going to do that. I actually might. I've thought about it, just going through my friends list, and literally if somebody's not willing to actually have like a face-to-face video conversation, just letting them go, because what's the point? If we're going to build relationships, we should build real relationships. We should do something real. We should speak something beautiful. We should change people's lives. We should impact the people around us. We should do something that's going to align in the highest possible level for everyone. And we have the ability to do that. But without God, we're nothing. Right? We're nothing. We're dust on the side of the road without God. Right? There wouldn't be a side of a road. There wouldn't be dust. There wouldn't be atoms. There wouldn't be the quantum universe. It wouldn't exist. We're nothing without God. People who don't believe in God need to change. We can help. But at the end of the day, with God, who are we? With God is something else. We're children. We're creators. We're intelligent. We have the ability to discern good from evil, right from wrong, truth from untruth. We have the ability to build something great. We have the ability to build a new nation, a new civilization, new people. With God, all things, literally everything. There's nothing that isn't possible with God. All things are possible. Right? So this video is to his glory, because he sustains my every breath. And I thank you for being here, and I thank my God for being so amazing that he's allowed for the manifestation of what we have today, to where we can actually have this communication, to where we can bring peace to ourselves, because peace to the nations starts with peace inside. Let me explain my logo real quick, and then I'm done. So I don't know that I'm going to keep this logo forever, but I like it. It's got a picture of, some people could interpret it as Christ, others could interpret it as the Messiah. You got half the world that believes in Jesus. Muslims and Christians do. They believe different things, but they both believe in him. And then you got the kingdom of Elohim, you got world peace. Right? World peace can only come through the kingdom. It can only come through the message of Messiah. It can only come through what's on the back of the shirt. Let me show you. So this is, I don't know that this shirt will ever be very popular. I don't know if you can see it. It's essentially the back, the same as the back of my book. So I'll show you the back of my book. Right, I got, these are the symbols for the some of the seven largest religions, right? You got Jainism, Judaism, This is the Dharma from Buddhism. This is Islam. This is Hinduism. This is Christianity. This is the Sikh religion. And why are they all surrounding? Well, because we get truths from many places. Okay? It doesn't mean we're converting to all these various religions, but there's truths from many places. But the way they intersect is what? You got a symbol of the menorah. What's the menorah a symbol of? A menorah is symbol of divine law. Where's divine law revealed? A lot of divine law is revealed in a lot of places, but where's it really revealed? It's revealed in the Torah. Okay? First 5 books of the Bible reveals divine law. The divine law is the intersection point between all knowledge, right? And what's this on the top? It says the Elohim Tetragrammaton, right? Which means the Lord God in English. Which essentially means that there's one God that manifests, right? So there's intersection points, yet there's one. And when we're operating in the many points of knowledge, we can operate in the one. And we can come together as one and put down the walls of separation between us. And it's the only way it can be. It's the only way, right? So that's what's on the back of my shirt. So I like this shirt because it's, of course, mine. But it reminds me that who I am is I'm God's, right? I don't know if that makes sense. Shalom. And I hope to see you fasting with me September 15th in the night. So tomorrow night, not tonight, tomorrow night at sundown is when Yom Kippur starts. Take the whole day off of work if you can. Okay, I know it's short notice, but if you can, take the whole day off work. Tomorrow night, sundown, dry fast, so no food, no water. From sundown to the time the sun goes down the following day. And the promise of that day, it's an everlasting promise that you'll be forgiven of all your sins on that day. Right? All of them. They just get wiped away. Doesn't mean you go do them again. But this is a special day. And this is the initiation with the blowing of the shofar, the trumpet's horn, this year. Okay? This is divine law. Right? 2 important time periods intersect on top of the Day of Atonement. What are they? Well, Day of Atonement is Day of Forgiveness. What else intersects? It's a sabbatical year. A sabbatical year is a year of rest, rejuvenation, and restoration and blessing. Okay? That intersects. That's this next year. Nobody does it anymore, right? None of the crops are going like this. We don't rest anything today. What's the next thing? Okay? The year of Jubilee. What's the year of Jubilee? Jubilee only happens, this is the first time it's happened in my life. You'd have to be over 50 years old to experience one other year of Jubilee. So I'm not 50, this is the first, okay? Jubilee is a year of cancellation of all debts. So the children of Israel, they didn't have permanent debts. They had debts until the year of Jubilee, then they were all canceled. That's how they built a debt-free society. That's why the kingdom of, imagine a society like that, where the debt got reset to 0 on the year of Jubilee every year. That's what we're going to build. We're going to build that. You don't understand what I'm doing. If you understood what I was doing, you'd all be lined up in every direction as far as I could see to answer me That's what would happen. So all debts canceled every 50 years. All slaves, they were let free. Not all, but most. The slaves are let free. Everybody returned to the promised land. This is the year where we return to the promised land of prosperity. This is the year where we together, we're set free. The captives are set free. We're set free from our internal bondages, from our spiritual bondages, from our physical bondages. We're set free from the slavery of this pandemic nonsense. This year, the year of Jubilee. This is a year of Jubilee, right? This is a year of rejoicing. It only happens once every 50 years. All 3 of those points intersect tomorrow at sundown. And if you miss that, you just missed something that you can't get back for 50 years. And it intersects with the day I was born again, which was September 15th, 2000. where I physically had Jesus touch my head when I was 19 years old. Sometimes I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it another day. And also that intersects with this year in Costa Rica, where my son lives. It's Independence Day. Intersects with Independence Day in Costa Rica. So tomorrow, it's a divine moment in time that you'll miss if you don't do the fast for Yom Kippur. You're missing something that cannot happen again for a longer time than 50 years. It's going to be until something like this happens again, until the intersection of these points comes together again. It's a special time. So I invite you to join me. That's my message for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Some breakthroughs I had from the fast. I would encourage you, if you just popped on, to watch this entire video. It's extremely valuable. And yeah, I love you, Ricardo. I love you all who popped on, and I'll see you on the beaches of the world. And we'll talk about something a little bit more normal next time. My energy is going to be up and in more of a normal state. I got to get to my meeting now. Bye.